Thanks for staying with us. So December 15th was a date the new Naira notes were launched. Many Nigerians were talking about going to the banks and having to receive the new Naira notes, although some had complained that enough wasn't disbursed across banks across the country, so they were not able to get the new Naira notes. Although banks have assured and reassured customers that more of these Naira notes, new Naira notes, will be distributed. However, there have been reports about counterfeiting, possible counterfeiting. There have been reports about people rejecting the note. There's been reports about people insisting on accepting only the old notes. Others are insisting on only taking the new notes. Those who are aware are not even accepting the old notes anymore. So there's a bit of confusion out there on these new notes. We'd like to hear Nigerians' views on it because many of you are experiencing it. And if you know somebody who's experiencing it, we'd like you to call in to tell us what your experiences are so that our government officials can see and get some kind of feedback from us based on this new launch. Sometimes government feels they've done something good, but sometimes the feedback from the horse's mouth is always better so that you know how we can make, there can be a review. So call us on the numbers on 081-270-53687, 09139076948. You can tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag your view TVC so we can read your tweet. What have been your experiences when receiving the new notes? What are the reports you're hearing out there? We'd like to hear your thoughts on it. Let me start with the ladies. What have you heard? Amia, do you have any copy with you? Have you received any?
No, I saw one.
You saw it? Did you receive it or
no,
just?
No.
Okay, just saw
so a friend withdrew the notes and I saw it and I really, let's not be like I was biased because, I already had the mindset about it. But I just didn't feel, I felt it was a bit weaker. So I told my friend that this is probably why they don't want to dispense at ATMs. 3 dispense of a particular note with this kind of quality, you go down the tier. I don't think it has the quality of durability, this particular new
And that's
note.
one characteristic of money, durability.
It has to be durable. Then I also think that, it was just a copy and paste of the old note. I looked at the security features and I didn't spot a difference, at least not immediately. Maybe I need to use my son's whatever lens to look at it properly, but I don't see. The old note still has more quality, durability, has all the features that a Naira note should have, or any note anywhere in the world should have than this one. I think that, for something that requires thinking, it did not meet up already. People are rejecting it.
Interesting that you should say that about the quality compared to the last one because, one of the things that was celebrated is the fact that we printed our money.
It was printed here?
Yes, it was printed here. So that's something that was celebrated. So is this a Nigerian thing where we give ourselves less quality or we do not have the infrastructure or the equipment to give, better quality than what we have? But there seems to be a lot of, backlash. And for me, what really stands out, the design aside, everybody has their preferences. But for me, it's the fact that there seems to be quite a number of Nigerians that are unaware of this new money. And the question is, why is it so hard to pass a message to all Nigerians when we make these policies and we reel out these things and we say it on our TVs and put it on newspaper? Do we think that is enough? We understand the complexity of Nigeria. We understand the huge gap between our educated and uneducated, those who are exposed, those who have access to some of this, to media. There's just quite a huge, wide range. And Nigerians, our leaders need to be able to put that into consideration when they're thinking about raising awareness. You have to go to the grassroots. It's not enough to be on TV or just engage those on social media. We have millions of Nigerians who are not engaging on social media. How can someone, a person who is involved in using cash day-to-day, running her day-to-day business, not be aware of a change, in money? And this is not just one scenario. So I think that, and this is not just about this money, it's about a lot of things we've seen recently, even with COVID, we just realized that we're not doing enough when it comes to raising awareness to important policies.
The thing is, normally, if you're going to change money, you have a few months.
Yeah, we have to the end of January. People are just overdoing this thing.
No, but from the time you change the money, it's 15th of December to 30th of January. That's not enough time. Look, they're changing the pound, the 50 pound, I think, in England. They're changing it. They have given people enough time by next year.
So it's almost like a year?
Almost like a year, or even over a year's gap, so that you have enough time, you will know. Even if you are someone that doesn't stay there, you will know when you come there that this. So there is that gap. It's too short.
Thank you for bringing that up, YK. You just reminded me of something, because when I traveled, remember I was having that same issue in the UK. So this information thing that Miriam talked about, my response to you was that sometimes this thing takes time. It's going to be, it just happened 5 days. It's like just 5 days ago, December 5th. When I went to the UK, they told me, the news was like, I think it was end of September, until they stopped taking the old note. And some stores already started rejecting it. And I went to the bank, I said, guys, they're not taking it from me. He said, that's not right. Tell them that it's till the end of September. They have no right not to collect this note. And some stores just refuse, because in their mind, they've changed the note. I can't take the old note anymore. And they refuse to collect my old notes. So sometimes information takes time to get around to everybody, because it's happened exactly in the same UK that it happened to me. This is not story. So it's been 5 days. Should we just cut government some slack in this situation?
Well, one of the things about notes, again, one of the qualities of notes is acceptability amongst the people. And so what Miriam is saying is at the very core of the issue. If a market woman in Mushin says, I don't want to have this washed, that looks like a stained copy of the old note, that means the CBN is sitting,
it kind of looks fake. The difference is not significant enough to say
already. You know, even on the old notes, you need to know the security features to escape being given a fake one. And on this one that already looks like a washed copy or a stained copy of the old one, people who don't know better will say, I would rather just be safe than sorry. And so accessibility is now wahala for us. The CBN's business is not just making policy and distributing these notes. The CBN's business is to ensure that the people understand and accept this note. So, for instance, now that we have the issue of the fake already in our faces, can we have jingles saying, these are the security features?
You do. I've heard one.
No,
I have heard a jingle on the new notes.
On the security features. This matter that the video just trended this weekend. It should already CBN should be on it immediately to address it, so that every market woman that even does not have a TV station can have a radio station around that. They can have market jingles awareness happening in every interior. People must accept the note before the January deadline that they gave.
My own is
and
this.
I doubt that it will reach there.
My own is this. Because I saw one of the 1,000 Naira notes. I think, and that's the only one I think people have even seen. Nobody has seen the 500 or the 200. We have seen. Now, my own is that you called it redesigning. What you did was recoloring. I beg, say na English we not speak. If we have recolored the money. Simple. People will live in here. When you say redesign, because if
the wording, very important.
Very important.
Because if that market woman had recoloring, maybe it would have clicked better.
We have changed
the color. That's one.
Change.
Gotcha. Yeah. That's an important point. If you tell us you are changing the color, people, it sinks easier. Because they see this and are wondering, maybe they say they changed it. This cannot be the new one.
Can never be.
So, okay, that's another perspective.
Because I saw it, it looked fake. I saw it, I preferred the old one. I saw it, it was just a faded version of the old one.
You know, it seemed, I brought out my children's piggy bank yesterday and I wanted to change it.
I keep forgetting. Piggy bank.
Because I opened it too, and they had new, because they keep new notes. In comparison, it's not there. It's not good, it's not good.
You've not seen it now?
I've seen it.
Oh, okay. I've not seen it.
And now there's a rush for it. So banks are limiting the amount of new notes they'll give you compared to the old notes. For now, just to address people that rushed, immediately they said it has started. So they're giving you, if you want to withdraw 10, you get 2,000 Naira of the new notes compared to, because it's still limited in circulation. And then the deadline is January 30th. They should shift it.
I'm going to something.
No, I was just going to say that we need to do, I need to understand the process that it takes to redesign a Naira note. First of all, you remember, it came as a bit of a shock, even to our Minister for Finance. She wasn't even aware that that redesign was happening. So it seemed like it was something that was done hurriedly. So is there like a design team, a group of people sit down and design it? And was there another group that vetted and and thought this is right, or was it
Why
done
is that
in
important
such
to
a
you,
hurry?
Mariam? Because
It's
you didn't hear about that when they did the first redesign. This last one.
Yeah, but it was worth it.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
here, we need to know who failed.
But
we need to know who made the mistake. We need to understand, was it equipment? Like I mentioned, Nigeria.
Maybe it wasn't a mistake.
Who is the person that stamped it and said, this is correct, this is the better version of what we already have?
Yeah, we need to speak to that person on your view, because you're right. It's not the difference is not significant enough. So Nigerians obviously would think it's either fake or somebody's watered down version. But let's go on a quick break. When we come back,
says she has seen the 500.
Oh, really?
YouTube. She says
I've not seen
she
any.
has seen the 500.
I've not seen any. But I hear that they are spraying it at parties already. But when we come back, we'll talk about that. Stay with us, Subreba. Thanks for staying with us. We have Oge from London. Thanks for calling. Are you there?
Yes, I am here.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just trying to contribute to this your discussion, which is very interesting. Yeah, when they thought of changing. Yes, I'm here. Good morning.
Listen to me, not the TV, please.
It's okay. When this idea of redesigning came up, I was thinking the whole thing was going to be a big change. When you redesigning a currency, I'm talking to you. You have to do away with even the pictures, the colors, and every other thing, because the crooks who are counterfeiting the dollars, I mean the Naira, they already have your template.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They already have the template to copy whatever the government is going to come up with.
Exactly.
As far as I'm concerned, redesigning means everything, changing the pictures and even the images in the currency. That is just it.
Okay, thank you, Oge. You're right. I mean, so is it possible, YK? Let me just, because I have to always play the devil's advocate here.
I will tell you what he said.
Let me try to play the devil's advocate. Let's understand the side of the government. For example, we're all saying cost of governance. We don't have money. Right now, they can't afford, because we do recall that the last currency change they did was quite drastic. They hold a new polymer notes, what's it called? Yeah, the polymer notes, yes. They changed the colors, they changed the currency from the 100 Naira to the new one. Mm-hmm. It was a drastic change, so they did the right thing. Is it possible?
Did we complain then?
We didn't complain.
We complained about the polymer.
We complained then that it was fading. They had to complain that it was fading. People complained now.
We complained about the polymer.
We complained. Polymer was different. But the 100 Naira notes, people didn't complain.
The point I'm trying to make is the issue of the cost of making a drastic change might be significant, such that they say, you know what, because we are trying to curb criminality on the part of the terrorists and all these, let us just do the minimal change that can get this money in, is coloring. Let's change the color so at least we can use this to get these terrorists we can find a way to trace and stop. I'm just trying to look at the other side.
This is a real devil's advocate. This is a real devil's advocate. Yes. Because if you listen to what Oge said just now, what he said, if you keep everything the same, the people who are counterfeiting the money, they already have the templates. Exactly. When you just change the color, so all they go and do, they will even make their own color finer, sharper. So you will even take the counterfeit one because the one that we are seeing is looking faded. So if you are going to change money, change everything. Now, the reason we complained about the 50 Naira and the 20 Naira in those days was because when you have had if you have the 50 Naira, I have the 50 Naira, I can show you. When you have had it for some weeks, it fades. That same money, they have it in the pound. You can hold it for 10 years. It will still be like that. It will still be like that.
Please stop comparing UK and Nigeria. Let's go
on
a break. Let's go on a break.
I said we are comparing them. Say everybody, the whole world is cashless.
Yes, the whole world is cashless. So we will not be like primitive people.
We are doing like England.
Okay, let me take this call.
Cashier.
Let me take this call. Good morning, Hassan. Are you there? We are selecting in comparison. Yes.
Please, I have a question for CPM governor.
Please. Michael, pass it on.
He has been there for over 8 years now. Please change of money. Why now? And they gave a reason of timing. They gave a reason of counterfeiting. Look, what is the job at NFIU that is domiciled with him, CGN? The job of NFIU is the intelligence to go after the counterfeiters. Now, you are just changing the color. It's just for them to go and do the coloring. And people have already developed a kind of fear for the money. They prefer the old note than the new note because the counterfeits are on display now in the society. So the problem now is this. People should do their job. Go for the counterfeiters. What is the job of NFIU? Look, I see nothing why we should be talking about counterfeits while we have agencies responsible for that. It's a shame on this government.
Thank you, Hassan.
I didn't really hear what he said.
He says the job of dealing with this is that of the NSIU, and it took Emefiele 8 years. He's been there this long. It took him until now to change the notes. Why now and why not when it was done? There was no perfect job, that will show.
They said they've given us reasons to counter inflation, terror. There's an objective. Yeah, it's an objective for this change. Yeah. It wasn't because just they woke up one morning and said, let's change the Naira notes. Yeah. They're having issues because many of these criminal elements are using cash, are passing cash around.
We're missing what Miriam said earlier. Sorry, Miriam. What she mentioned that, it was printed here. When we do things outside, we give them good parameters and things are done. Do you know we changed 100 Naira during the centenary celebration just a few years ago? You don't even take, and the quality.
Not 100 Naira now.
No, I'm saying the quality of the centenary copy that was printed, that we did. Yes. It was so good, and the durability and everything. And then we now go and do 1,000 2 or 3 years later, and it now looks like this.
It's the same Naira. It's just change the color.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same Naira. They didn't change the notes.
It's recoloration.
That's coming back to your view, which is. It defeats the purpose of protecting, doing it to protect against counterfeiting because you have just made it even easier. I took the story where World Bank was also saying that the timing of this is a bit, it's unfair to many Nigerians who are just struggling already financially. But I'm just thinking that I want to go back to when I was talking about the process that it involves. I know you were trying to make light of it, like why do I need to understand the process? It's important for us to understand the process, to understand the caliber of people that are supposed to be involved in making sure that currency is redesigned and how it's distributed and the awareness that goes out. Because of the way we would, we don't really give respect to people who have gone to the school or who have the experience of doing things in our country. We just sit down, call a group of our friends and families, they do these things. They don't know that there is a process because someone would have mentioned some of these issues that we're having to deal with now. One of the things that they would not want to go back, I think that also the government is seeing now clearly the difference and all the issues, but they won't want to go back because they have spent a lot of money. But to be honest, that from what I've seen so far, an old Naira note is way better. And if I were the government, I would put a stop on this new Naira note. And let's go back to what we've been using for now. Concerning and then concerning the terrorists and kidnappers, well, beyond making new, printing new monies, because we have heard them, we've had some situations where they're saying that we'll insist that people pay in the new currencies. Beyond, we have to do something beyond that, which is making sure that security is, optimum, which is making sure that military personnel are, well taken care of. They have all that they need. But to just say that this would solve counterfeiting and then you give us something that would even make it easier, just...
And I quickly just take this too. He says, Franklin B. Onoben says, who said we didn't complain when the currency was changed before? Nigerians will complain about everything. They don't need a reason to complain. We don't just like change. Make they calm down.
Let's go on a break. When we come back, take more calls. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing the new notes, and we'd really like to hear from our viewers this morning. Call us on 081-270-53687, 091-390-76948. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag your view TVC so we can read your tweets. I saw a report here that was saying that even the party goers are the ones enjoying the new notes because all the sellers of the currency notes They are the one of the first off-takers of these notes, and they're the ones partying. So if you go to party, me, I'm going to party this week, Aisha. Maybe I'll see. Yeah, I want to feel it.
So I think that explains why there's a limited, there are limited amounts of it for banks to distribute. Because one bank was blocked. People took siege of the bank the moment the start of the deadline, and the bank had to limit them to 2,000 per 10,000 naira each that they took. So, I think this explains the scarcity.
Right. Okay, we're going to be wrapping up on this, but I'd like to take a comment on social media. Let us take so that we hear people's views, because the objective of this conversation really is to get Nigerians' perspective so that hopefully governments can hear and then use the feedback appropriately.
Festus Akinboyewa says, it's surprising that people are looking at the advantages of the redesigned or painted currency. Even Sanusi, former CBN governor, has praised it. Then Olorogun says, every single currency in the world has its own counterfeit. No single currency is exempted.
Olorogun says, okay, a lot of videos will be done to discredit the new notes. We are only complaining because the old notes are still in circulation. The citizens of this country can never be satisfied with anything. Yeah. We always think we have better ideas than those in government.
Well, sometimes I agree, but with this particular one, I don't agree.
What have you ever agreed with? Like, really, what have we Nigerians ever agreed with? We hardly ever agree. If government does 100 policies, at least 99.9 of it is bad, according to Nigerians. We don't say it. So, in this situation, however, I think what YK said was extremely valid, and I would like to reiterate for that it should just call this a recoloring. If you do that, it makes things easier and more accepting, especially for those who are totally, are not very, don't have enough access to mainstream media to know the difference. So they are the ones that they need to work out. They don't recolor. So once they see a new color, they don't automatically reject it.
That's human.
Yeah.
Accepting it will take a while, adjusting something that it doesn't just happen overnight. I wanted to share a joke when I read that tweet about a friend who was traveling on the second mainland bridge. This is a relief that everybody had celebrated, and he focused on the uncompleted. He said it was 95% complete. And he went to those uncompleted there and did it. I said, see, the bridge is not even yet complete.
Yeah.
Well, I know.
That's the Nigerian factor there.
You do that.
Yes. Can I take two tweets?
Okay.
Rolake says, the new note is an example of moving from an old house to a new house and arranging the new house the same as the old house, as the new house looks, except painting. That is why our system of governance has not changed, because we only changed the color. Then Immaculate Boy says, we have an apathy towards change as Nigerians. I was young when we changed currency color in '84. It was greeted with confusion, but after a while we got used to it. The same way it will happen now. YK may attest.
But I think that when this current old notes that's phasing out came out, we didn't complain.
It
was accepted.
On this table,
yes.
There was serious complaint.
No, you couldn't have known now.
What?
You were not there.
20 years ago. I'm talking about the polymer.
It's polymer that had criticism because it was changed.
And it still has the criticism.
Yes, now to tomorrow.
You haven't seen
I just went like that.
In fact,
I kept a copy of the old 50 naira.
I will show you. I have 50 naira in my car. I will show you. It's dirty and washed up.
Yes. Let me take this.
It was because they started polymer in the UK.
Just. Good morning, Bob.
The copy no go.
My sister, how are you?
You're live. Go ahead. Thanks for calling. Fine.
Yeah, greetings to your colleagues there.
Yes.
I think all of you really look like
greeting you back.
African ladies.
Yes.
Like great school African ladies.
I'm a China today.
I hope they can put your image on the Naira we are talking about. We really demonstrate Nigerian African ladies, how they look like, very beautiful.
Thank you, Mr. Bob.
Okay, my sister. I think all this color of 15 of this our Naira, has it been the color has come in the color of Nigerian, this color, that is green, white, green. It would have been better. If our Naira can carry that Nigerian color, green, white, green, it would have been better. But that notwithstanding, it doesn't withstand, as a matter of fact, because color or no color does not reduce the value of the money. It doesn't reduce the value of the 500 Naira or the 1,000 Naira or the 200 Naira. The color does not reduce the value. So let us stop emphasizing on this. My area of concern is that if you can eradicate vote buying, you understand me? If you can stop vote buying for this period of election, I think it should be okay. Thereafter, they can come back to the normal things that the Naira stands for.
Right.
So that is my position.
All right, sir. Thank you so much.
And Nam says this note change has been chaotic. Emefiele needs to relax and not rush people to cashless. They don't have internet stability for them to force cashless on people. Nonsense.
Okay, I think we can wrap up on this. So we wanted to hear from Nigerians, their thoughts and views about this Naira notes. But I once again reiterate the fact that, yes, there was an objective towards this. They said to curb inflation, counter terrorism, to reduce the risk of terrorism, kidnapping, especially because of the criminal elements, as I said earlier, use cash. And that was one of the reasons why they had to change the notes. But Nigerians were expecting something more significant, but it was more like a color change. So we're saying that for the information to go out to disseminate faster to all the various levels in our country, maybe if they had come across with a new color code or new color change campaign, people then understand it, they're expecting change. And they're expecting only color change. And when they see the color, they don't immediately reject it, because then it's counterproductive. Because you're trying to curb counterfeiting, but yet now you've actually made it easier by just changing the color. So hopefully that the government can get this feedback. I'm not sure what they can do with this, but at least we've expressed our views on this.